Sometimes these things happen in MMA.
What's going on, fight fans? Welcome to These Things Happen in MMA. The goal of this channel is to highlight crazy and spectacular moments that have made mixed martial arts into what it is today. Don't forget to follow the channel on social media at These Things MMA, and the link to my merch shop is in the description below. I'd also like to give a special thanks to King Smark on YouTube for recommending the topic. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how one fighter nearly altered the course of mixed martial arts forever. This is the story of how Ricco Rodriguez nearly dismantled the UFC. Before arriving at the UFC in 2001, Ricco Suave Rodriguez held an impressive 9-1 record. In just under a year's time, he routed off 4 stoppage wins in a row against the likes of Andrei Arlovski, Pete Williams, Jeff Munson, and Tsuyoshi Kosaka. During this time, Josh Barnett would manage to capture the heavyweight title against Randy Couture at UFC 36. However, shortly after, he was stripped of the belt when a test came back positive for anabolic steroids. Left without a heavyweight champion, the UFC then set up a vacant title fight between Randy Couture and Ricco Rodriguez at UFC 39. The event took place on September 27, 2002, with commentators Jeff Osborne and Mike Goldberg.
Now the belt is available because of this. Take you back to UFC 34. Josh Barnett against Randy Couture at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Barnett defeated Couture that night, was named heavyweight champion, but his reign was shortened when he tested positive for the use of anabolic agents, a test administered by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So with that announcement from the Nevada Commission and with that finding, we have no heavyweight champion until later tonight, when that man will be the winner of the Couture-Rodriguez fight.
The card featured other noteworthy bouts as well, such as Phil Baroni receiving an 18-second knockout win over former middleweight champion Dave Menne, and future heavyweight champion Tim Sylvia winning his UFC debut by way of corner stoppage over Wesley Cabbage Carrera. As an additional note, UFC 39 held a 4-man lightweight tournament between Din Thomas vs. Kyle Uno and BJ Penn vs. Matt Serra. The first ever lightweight champion, Jens Pulver, recently left the promotion over contract disputes, and the winner of the tournament was to become the new king at 155 pounds. The night ended with both Kyle Uno and BJ Penn receiving unanimous decision wins, and the two fought for the vacant belt at UFC 41. As fate would have it, that contest ended with a draw, and the lightweight division was essentially cut from the UFC. It was brought back in 2006, but struggled to find a consistent champion until BJ Penn captured the title at UFC 80 in 2008. At this point in the story, it's important to know that UFC 39 was taking place at the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort. In the early 2000s, rival casino Golden Palace began a creative marketing campaign that involved paying fighters to wear a temporary henna tattoo promoting their website. The most notable being Hall of Fame boxer Bernard Hopkins, who was paid $100,000 to wear the tattoo in his title unification bout against Felix Trinidad in 2001. The publicity stunt drew a lot of attention, as Hopkins famously bet the entire $100K on himself to win and earned a nice $350,000 profit for his victory. 1 year later, Golden Palace offered Ricco Rodriguez the same deal for his title bout against Randy Couture at UFC 39. However, casinos aren't in the business of promoting their rivals, and when the owners of Mohegan Sun found out about the stunt, they decided to cancel UFC 39 outright. At this point in the UFC's history, a cancellation of a sold-out show days beforehand could have brought down the entire business. Needless to say, Dana White wasn't too pleased with the situation.
I remember Ricco Rodriguez put that golden casino on his back one time, and you lost your shit.
What happened with Ricco Rodriguez is everybody knew that because we were at a casino, you couldn't have a casino sponsor. and that's at the time that Golden Palace and all that stuff was doing that. What does this fucking idiot do? Forget a t-shirt. He goes out and tattoos it on his back, right? Jeez. So what happened was the tribe there, the tribe said, we're shutting down the show. So
yeah, I remember that.
Lorenzo and I got in a room with these guys and worked it out with them, but he almost shut down the show. And back in those days, a show getting shut down like that could have put us out of business. When we do those things, we're fronting all the money.
Yeah, right.
You know, we're putting up a couple $1 million. And if these guys would have shut that show down, that might have been the end of us.
Thankfully, both sides came to an agreement. And although the details of that conversation haven't been revealed, one can only imagine that a lot of money was involved. When it was time for the main event, Rodriguez made the walk to the cage, tattoo and all. The fight itself was an exhausting grappling battle that saw Randy dominate for the first 2.5 rounds. Midway through the contest, the momentum changed in favor of Ricco, and in the 5th round he managed to land an elbow strike that forced the Hall of Famer to verbally tap. Ricco Rodriguez was now champion of an organization that he almost brought down just days prior. Rodriguez would later reveal that he drew inspiration from what Bernard Hopkins was able to accomplish with his sponsorship deal a year prior. When the opportunity presented itself to me, I did the exact same thing. I was a 5-1 underdog, so I gambled on myself and I won that fight, and I made more money than the UFC would have ever paid me. The UFC paid me $30,000 to show and $30,000 to win, and I put all my money on myself and I won $500,000. After the fight, Rodriguez thanked Golden Palace in his Octagon interview, and everything appeared normal as Dana White happily introduced his new heavyweight champion at the post-fight press conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the UFC, Ricco Rodriguez.
And the world! I did all my talking in the Octagon, but it was a tough fight, and I went away and trained real hard and did everything I was supposed to do, and it was awesome to win in front of my friends and family because they know how hard I worked since I was a kid, wrestling, no matter what it was, I just trained the hardest I could. And you know what? The fat kid from New York made it.
Looking back, it's hard to blame Rodriguez for taking the money, as fighter pay is still an issue that lingers to this day. In 2002, the landscape for sponsorship was wide open, and the top fighters would often earn more money from their accumulative sponsors than they would from fighting. Ricco would lose the title in his next bout against Tim Sylvia, and later claimed that the UFC blacklisted him from the promotion because of the tattoo incident. He doesn't appear to hold any grudges though, and has stated that he understands the UFC's position. Ricco Rodriguez is currently retired, with his title victory at UFC 39 being the crowning achievement of his long MMA career. His last fight came in 2019, and he holds a record with 54 wins and 82 professional MMA bouts. As another side note, because of Rodriguez, the UFC now has a clause in fighter contracts that bans sponsor tattoos. It's pretty crazy to think that one fighter nearly collapsed the UFC and changed the course of MMA in the process. Ironically, UFC 40 would be the promotion's biggest event up to that point. Because of something as simple as a tattoo, it almost never happened. This sport has had many important moments, but few as bizarre as this one, so let us never forget this unique piece of mixed martial arts history. As always, I've posted some related material in the description for those interested. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below with the topics you'd like to hear me cover in a future episode. Again, don't forget to follow the channel on social media at These Things MMA, and the link to my merch shop is in the description below. Thanks for watching and supporting my channel.
You know, for me, this is my 79th or 80th fight or something like that. You know, I'm just, so for me, you know, it's just an honor to be here. I get to do what I love to do. How many people get to travel around the world, meet awesome people, and you know, meet new friends and punch each other in the face. It's awesome. You know, it's about being the ambassador for the sport, holding yourself to a higher standard and just helping people out.
Sometimes these things happen in MMA.